Let's have a conversation.
Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events again soon.
We got Mark with the Mindful Reality podcast, who I've been a guest on, and it was a blast.
Thank you for having me, honestly, and I cannot wait to do it again. We're going to do this again in the future. I just know it.
What's up, y'all? Good evening. Sorry I'm hopping on so late. You know, one of those days where you feel like you're behind from the minute you wake up and you just never catch back up. That has been what today has been for me. I almost didn't think I was going to jump on here at all. But I'm here. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I'm confused, y'all. I was asking you for some explanations. Nobody gave me any, so I guess we're going to work through it together. What's up, Cass? Hi, Miss Nappy Kid. Right on time. Let's go, bro. By the way, I watched The Traders Canada. Thanks for the episode. Exactly. I have not seen it yet either, and I'm not going to be seeing it till tomorrow, so I hope nobody does that in the comments. I hope that wasn't a jinx for that. But I jumped on at a certain point onto Twitter, and I saw that the vote was flipping to MeMe. So this last 30 to 40 minutes, I've been trying to trace back and figure out why this vote would flip to MeMe. And what I have gathered, and somebody can tell me if I'm wrong, but what I gathered is that Matt and Jag were speaking to each other and saying to themselves, if Felicia stays, she's going to be targeting Corey and America, and that would not be a bad thing for us. Whereas we don't know where the votes are going if MeMe stays instead of Felicia. So apparently they spoke to Corey, and Corey thinks that there's an equal chance. Like the noms, the targets for the noms, he thinks are going to be similar between MeMe and Felicia. I guess they just think that MeMe is less straightforward. She's more of a wild card, and she's more likely to win competitions. So I think Corey, America, Jag, Matt, and Bowie, we're having a discussion, if I'm remembering who was in that room, and they were making that pitch to Cam. Definitely interesting choices. They were making that pitch to Cam and saying, we want to keep Felicia and we want to take out MeMe instead. And Cam was against this, even though it doesn't really matter what Cam thinks in a sense, because Cam doesn't have a vote and it's not going to be a split vote. But Cam was just like reiterating his same points. I don't want Felicia in the jury house. That's for sure going to be a vote against me. He actually said, in the event that I lose before Final 3, I don't want to effing sit with her in the jury house. That's how crazy that was. Crazy to me how Jag talking about keeping someone so they'll target Corey instead of just letting him get backdoor now. I'm not even trying to understand Jag anymore. Jag is Jag. I'm not even trying to understand Jag. You had the chance to put the guy on the block. You fight against it only to now be fighting to keep somebody so that they will target Corey next week when you can target Corey this week. Hold on a second. I'm glad that you gave me something like that because it gives me a chance to drop my first MeMe of the day.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
The math is not mathing, Jag. So there's another thing that happened. I was watching Cameron and Blue speak to each other. That was within the last hour. Cameron was talking to Blue about how Blue can orchestrate reflipping the votes back to Felicia. Because Cameron still wants Felicia out of the house. Blue wants Felicia out of the house. So Cameron was asking Blue, what are the benefits for you personally of keeping MeMe, and what are the benefits for you of keeping Felicia? So she said, in MeMe's case, me and MeMe possibly might be able to team up and work together down the line. She was like, in Felicia's case, there's no benefit for me of Felicia staying. And Cameron was like, yeah. And that's what everybody else is thinking about too, because that's something they brought up too. They were like, what if MeMe works with Blue? So he was like, everybody else is thinking of your potential to work with MeMe if she ends up staying in the house, and they're scared of that. So he said, you had to present it to them in a way that they think it's a move that benefits them. So Blue is now going around tonight. She's going to go around tonight and try to reflip the votes back to getting Felicia out of the house. That's how I understand it. I just watched Blue, Matt, and Sari talk to each other about needing to keep MeMe. Yeah, Blue is trying to keep MeMe. So Blue initiated that conversation because she went and talked to Cam, and Cam was telling her that she needs to go around and convince people to get Felicia out and to keep MeMe again. The thing with Matt's name being in this group, though, is because just today only, I've heard Matt make passionate arguments for and against keeping MeMe. So Matt is not a swing vote to me. Whatever they end up deciding, whatever the majority end up deciding, that's where Matt's going. If tonight everybody else has a conversation and they decide that MeMe still needs to go, Matt's with that. So Matt is not an important vote. Sari's not an important vote, to be honest, because they're not the majority anymore. The important thing is what, let's see, there's Jag, there's Bowie. Jag, Bowie. Okay, Jag and Matt, they go together. Corey and America want Felicia to stay. This is mind-blowing to me. I don't understand how after this blow-up that Felicia supposedly had at Corey and America, that now Corey and America are campaigning for her to stay in the house.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
This is me trying to figure all this out. Normally when I watch Big Brother, I'm like, oh, I understand why they made this move because of this. And I understand why they made this move because of this. Oh, that makes sense. The math is mathing. This season, I can't follow. I can't follow what they're doing. I can't explain why. I'm just watching and reporting. Hey, Mona. The math is not mathing. Jag is always 2 steps behind. Hi, Danny. Yes, he is. Mimi is literally me in social situations. She is me too. That's the reason why I have gravitated towards her so much. Not because she's good at Big Brother, but just because I can relate. Because when I see her in the house, it reminds me of how I am in a corporate setting. I know that everybody in my work most people at my work are like, Mark doesn't like anybody. They don't see this nice side of me that other people see. Sometimes they do once in a blue, but not usually. Not really. When I jumped on this live, Mimi was talking to Jag, but she wasn't really trying to convince him of anything. They were just talking and laughing. This is what I'm trying to say, Cass. This is a good way to put it. I've never seen a group of people do so much and so little simultaneously. That gives me an annoyed Mimi, a bored Mimi, a migraine Mimi. I could pretty much drop almost everything of her tonight because
I'm just like, this is all way too much. It's so stupid. I'm just like, these people are, I don't know if they're sane or if I'm sane. Like, I could be the crazy one. Mm-hmm.
apparently this campaigning that Felicia did was to her benefit. I guess. It could be another Waffle Wednesday where they have all this talk all day. Then they get to Thursday and everybody votes out Felicia anyways. But it's also not interesting. This is the funny part. Today was an active day. It wasn't like they were just sitting around and there wasn't any gameplay and they didn't say anything that was potentially game changing, but it's this comment right here. I've never seen a group of people do so much and so little simultaneously. Just like I told Izzy yesterday, I was like, we need you in the house. Stir some stuff up. I was telling her, I was like, a lot of people think that you are unimportant to Cerie's game. I don't know. Some people are saying that. But the importance that she had to Cerie's game is the fact that Cirie has a laid back, send people to do things for her type of game. She's not an aggressive, run around the room and try to find out all the different information. So I'm like, you were the gatherer. She was the harvester. So she would say, I wonder what's going on with Cam and Rad. Izzy would be like, let me find out. So she would jump up, run in the room. When Red and Cam were talking, she would get all the information she could from that conversation, run back to Cirie, and she would be like, Cirie, I went in the room. They were talking about this and this. And then I spoke to this person who said they spoke to Cam. This one said they spoke to Red. This, and this, and this. And Cirie would take all the information and be like, So I gather that this and this and this and this is happening. So this is a game plan that we need to form. Now without Izzy in the house, Cirie is like, I'm just laying low. She's not in control of the game. I applaud her. I credit her for the fact that she's able to kind of fly under the radar in a sense, but she's now depending on what everyone else is doing. What is a last name reveal? I don't know what you're talking about. Getting Corey out would have been the better move. Hi, Mark. Felicia is going home. Can we talk about Cam telling them that Jared said to take care of? Cam told them that? Wow. Jack seems to be the one that's going to figure it out, especially since they're studying faces. Interesting. I didn't know that. I did not know that. You're showing your last name on the bottom of the screen. Well, if you hadn't noticed, my last name scrolls on the bottom of the screen every day. Not today, but yeah, my last name's been on here before. But it's new to you. I talked about that store that was nearby my house called New to You. And if you haven't seen it, it's new to you. But I didn't know that Felicia is Waffle Wednesday. I don't pay it no mind. Oh, that's why you kind of just ignored that. That is why you ignored that. I hope MeMe stays, but just for the, I don't know, just for personal reasons. Not even because I think she's played a wonderful game, because you saw that I put her on the bottom of the float list. I'm missing something. What's Waffle Wednesday? Waffle Wednesday is something that people invented for this season because almost every single Wednesday, after saying, all of us want this person out, they flip. They flip and then they flip back. And then they flip again and then they flip back. That's how they started calling it Waffle Wednesday. They had one for Thursday too, but I can't remember what they called it anymore. I saw it today and it was funny. Waffle Wednesday. I'm not going to remember it. I was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee back in July, where Red is from. And every store was like $9.98 or less, or $9.95 or less. And every store was like that. I've been watching Red on TikTok. Red makes a lot of money on TikTok, y'all. He went right back to his life, right back to his huge TikTok following. Red's getting money. Red is getting some money. Yeah, you know that the flip is not exciting when there's only 24 people and we're talking about alleged breaking news and there's only 24 people in here. I put waffles in the toaster, so that went over my head. Well, it's because you're talking about toaster waffles. Some people flip their waffles or make it with the batter. Red is probably going to earn more than whoever wins the season. Probably. I just learned about this thing that they do on TikTok called battles. So Red and Turner from Big Brother 24 have been going live together almost every day for the last week or so. So I was on there a few days ago and they were like, hey, you want to do a battle? And I'm like, okay, what's a battle? I'm looking at it. And they had this bar at the top of the screen. And one side of the bar was Turner's bar. And the other side of the bar was Red's bar. And it kept going like back and forth for 2 minutes. And then it shows a winner. And then I realized what the bar was moving back and forth based on was people giving donations. People buying coins and donating it to either Turner or Red. So at the end of the 2 minutes, Whoever got the most coin donations in that 2 minutes wins the battle. Red won all the battles, but they both won because they were both getting money the whole time. Flip flop and you don't stop. MeMe was a disappointment. Yeah, because I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I said MeMe's in a good position. The thing that changed me feeling like MeMe is in a good position is the fact that she's like, I don't really care about playing the game. She's just like, I'm going to do me. If I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. And I'm fine with that. And I'm like, okay, so you don't. Even if she stays, I see a very, very little chance of MeMe winning. She'd probably almost prefer to go out before jury. She would be so miserable. I'm a millennial. I can't cook. Is anybody going to watch House of Villains? I'm going to watch House of Villains. The only thing is there's so many shows on my roster right now that what day of the week is that going to be on? I think it's October 12th that it's going to show. I'm going to try to watch it. You should sleep, stream, and see how many people donate to you while you sleep. I got tired of BB running my blood pressure up on Wednesday with the flipping, so I just don't get worked up. Makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not worked up either, as you can see. I'm not even frustrated. I'm just like, it is what it is. We'll see what happens on Thursday. Although I do miss Thursday being my big brother day. I mean, Wednesday being a big brother day. Yeah, I'm going to watch Survivor tomorrow. What I might do is that after I watch it, I might do my recap of Survivor in the morning, but no guarantees. Because I'm trying my best to... Basically, it's most convenient for me to do Survivor on Wednesdays, but I just forgot it was on. There's so much schedule changes going on that my brain is the scrambleverse right now. By the way, I think I've mentioned this to you guys before, but some of you might not have heard me mention it. If you are a Circle fan, the Circle is coming back. I don't know when, but they are filming it right now in Atlanta. I think it's not a long show. I think I've heard that it's about a month long. So when that comes out on Netflix, I'd like MeMe to stay. Me too. I have an 8 a.m. class. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I might have another 20 minutes left, if that. I definitely did say Scrambleverse. So when the Circle comes out, for those of you who like that, either here or on the replay, I have something in the works as a cool supplementary thing for the Circle when it comes out. A video that I plan to put together. Yeah, it's normal. It normally hits around December for the Circle. I hope that I'm able to do it. If things work out, I will be able to do it. I mean, I can tell you guys because it's not... I can't say this is a guarantee, but I have spoken with Sam about doing a watch of the first 4 episodes or however many they released at the beginning and recording her live reactions to those episodes, which I think will be a cool thing for you to be able to kind of see as a supplement to those episodes. Now, in terms of the details of the how, I already know the where, but there's some details to figure out. But I think that would be really fun. But she agreed to it. That's the cool part. Love the Circle. I just binged watched them. Yeah, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait until they did the whole release. So as soon as they had the 4 that they released it in, I just watched all 4 episodes back to back to back to back. Then I'm like, okay, wait till next week. Watch all the episodes back to back to back to back, or however many weeks it took for them to release them. However many were released, I watched them all at the same time. I love that show. Season 5 was good. I don't know how season 6 is going to top that, but it was so cool that right after the show ended, to connect with Chaz, Sam, and Shuby back to back to back. So to hear all their different perspectives was pretty interesting. Alert. Wait a minute. The Minnesota Twins. I'm so exhausted. If you give my 3-year-old a toaster waffle, she'll give it back. She knows when she with me. We make batter, oil, eggs, vanilla extract, fresh blueberries, pour in waffle maker and flip it. And that's what they do. They put in doubt, insecurity, paranoia. What else? I had a couple more things on the tip of my tongue, but they put all those things in their waffle maker and they flip that. And then they add a couple more ingredients and they usually flip it back. So I understand your reason for not panicking. What is January 17, Danny? What's happening on January 17? Hi, everyone. Just stopping by to support Mark's channel. Sorry, that yawn was unintentional. I'm tired. Although I'm not watching BB right now. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, Rory. Matt lies, y'all. I'm not discrediting him. I'm not saying it's bad. Because you have to lie in the Big Brother house, but I've seen him bold-faced lie to people's face plenty of times, but nobody thinks that he's lying. And another thing that I've noticed that he does is somebody will come to him after he has a conversation where he knows what the majority are going to do. And he's like, oh, I've heard that everybody wants MeMe out. That's interesting, huh? Like he just did it to Blue earlier. Blue was like, it's a pretty easy week. You know, we know that Felicia's going home. And Matt is like, Felicia? He was talking to Blue and Saria, as a matter of fact. And he said, we know that Blue said, we know that Felicia's going home. And Matt was like, no, I don't think so. I think that everybody wants to vote for MeMe to go home. And Blue was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, all the people are talking about MeMe going home instead of Felicia. And she was like, wait, what people? And Matt was like, oh, I'm not going to tell you that. Now, if somebody else says, I'm not going to tell you that, what are they going to do with that? They're going to go around and be like, so Matt said that the votes are flipping. And then when I asked him, who's the people who are flipping, he didn't give me any names. We need to get Matt out of the house. Matt has the power of invincibility for himself. It's like a permanent power that he has for himself that people don't notice the things that he's saying. People don't notice how many conversations he's in. People don't notice that he's in all the alliances. He's in every alliance. The only person he's not aligned with is like MeMe. This circle. Oh, okay. January 17. Well, it's not based on my schedule, so. But then again, we have a whole season. So the way that I see it, if the timing lines up, we'll be able to record that and I'll be able to have something different and fresh for my page. But we have a whole season worth of episodes. So if it doesn't work out for the premiere 4 episodes, maybe we'll get one of the sets of episodes. But the cool part is that is somebody who is now in my network that is available when I contact them. 3-year-old granddaughter. No, MeMe. Matt's going to win. Matt has a good chance of winning. What I'm really interested to see, though, is what Matt will do in the final maybe 5. Because at that point in time, you can't play the middle. That's the only thing. Matt is a lock for like final 5, 6, but he has to be cutthroat at a point. He has to be willing to win and make decisions. Because if he happens to be in a final 5 that includes Cam and Corey, you can't float through that. Why are they studying with pictures, faces? The feeds went down for a while, and apparently I think they were given some kind of information about the next HOH competition. That's what I was hearing. I would be fine with Matt winning too, but I also wouldn't be like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for all season. It would just be like, cool. Good job, Matt. That's how I feel about Matt winning. Matt said you only need 4 votes to stay, and you have it. Because that's the next comp. Matt's a Gemini. Which personality will surface? Matt has had many personalities. Matt has had many personalities. Premiere date, rumors. It's expected that the circle is going to debut on January 17. Yeah, we'll see. I believe that we can make it happen. I hope that we can make it happen. Memory comp should be coming up soon. That could be anyone's game. I know, right? Which personality is going to surface for any of them, to be honest with you? What is Jag going to do if he gets a chance to choose? What is Corey going to do? What is America going to do? Stop it with the Gemini stuff. It's offensive to people like us. I applied for the circle, Holly. I actually applied for the circle. The thing with a lot of these shows nowadays, unfortunately, is that they scour your internet following. I said this on a couple of other lives. Sam was a recruit. Sam from season 5 was a recruit. She had over like 500,000 or 600,000 TikTok followers, and they reached out to her and said, hey, we would like you to be on this show called The Circle. It's a social experiment, blah, blah, blah. She said she thought it was whack at first. And then when she kind of got more information about the concept, she's like, oh, this is kind of dope. And then she goes on the show and you know the rest. So, but me, I don't have a huge social media following. Even the amount of followers on this page, 665, it's not a lot. I have less than 1,000 Instagram followers. So I don't know. I'd have to have an amazing audition video or something. It's not as easy to get on these shows as you think. He might win the next HOH if he doesn't throw it because he has a photographic memory. And the funny thing though is whenever I go to these events, a lot of people tell me that I should be on the shows. Even cast members are like, you should apply for this show. You should go on Big Brother. You should go on the challenge. You should go on Survivor. You have a look for it. And I'm like, I've tried to apply for a few of them. In the beginning, I didn't have much hope for Matt when he gave Riley Shrine. Me neither. I thought that he was done after Riley left, but I think Riley leaving was the best thing that could have possibly happened for his game, to be honest. So if I was a catfish, what kind of catfish do you think that I should play? Because it's not out of the question that I can ever get on that show, even though I didn't make it this year. What kind of catfish do y'all think I could be on the circle? Because I was just talking about this the other day of would I go as myself or would I go as a catfish? Not the Riley Shrine. Oh my God, no. I would definitely give you a shout out. Yeah, what kind of catfish should I play as? Like, should I be male, female? What profession? What profession should I be? What should I put in my about me section? Activities. You should ask Sam if you would be a good catfish. Should ask Sam if I would be a good catfish. I feel like Sam would tell me to go as myself. I think Sam would probably tell me I'd be terrible as a catfish. Go as MeMe. She's too smart for me to go as her. That's the only problem. If I went as her with her actual profession, I would have to study to be her. Has a catfish ever won? No catfish has ever won so far. There have been a few catfish that have made the final table. Like last season, Tamira. She was a female. She was playing another female, but the female she was playing was straight and she's a lesbian. And the female she was playing, I think, was like a slim, like bikini type of person, somebody who's in a bikini and she's slim, a slim figure. And Tasia was not. I think there was a second catfish. Yes, there was a second catfish. That was Jennifer, who was a combination of Brett, who some of you will know from Big Brother, and somebody named Xanthi. So 2 catfish actually made the final table, but no catfish has ever actually won the circle. Not trying to be funny, but maybe an older man. I could probably do that. I could see myself playing an older man because everybody always thinks that I'm older than I am. Not in appearance, but just people have always thought that I act older than I am. An old Italian man, I don't know about all that because then I'd have to learn some lingo. But I could definitely see myself playing an older man on the circle and being good at being that older man. Because I live like an old man, actually. I have no idea what my IQ is. Be a mother who everyone calls Ma. And your personality is aggressive because you're angry Twitter hasn't been deleted yet. That's hilarious. The mom played her husband, Trevor. Oh, yes, you're right. There was one catfish that won. You are right. Catfish, go therapist, close enough. That's true. And I know enough that the average person, unless the only way that I wouldn't fool somebody if I said I was a therapist is if they were actually a therapist. That's the only way that the others would not be fooled. Or unless they did some kind of extraordinary amount of studying on their own. Because I've worked in the field for 9 years. I've gotten countless therapy myself, and I've studied a lot. Not enough that I could fool an actual clinician, but actually I could fool a clinician up to a point. Until they started getting into the DSM book of diagnosis codes, then they would lose me. Go as me. Nobody wants an older man at the bar. I don't know if that'd be popular. Have older men characters done well on the circle? I guess not, now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't think anyone had a profile of an older man and did very well. An older woman has done well, but not an older man. It's kind of different. Your mind is well beyond your years. Thank you. You're so fond of your dad. Play your dad. That would be interesting. I definitely would have all of his mannerisms down. Except I'd have to be a little less strict. My dad was very strict. I think I would do well on the circle. The circle would be the one show out of all the shows that I would be the most interested in being on, because I get to have my own apartment. You get to make requests of things that you want in the apartment. You can decorate it how you want. You get your own little gym. You can cook whatever you want in your kitchen. I think I've even heard they get breaks, like they get to go outside at a certain point and they get like breaks. And they have times when they're not doing any games. Chaz talked about that. He was like, it's not like you're just constantly talking to people from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. He said they'll have spaces, like a few hours, where you're not communicating with everyone and you can just gather yourself. Other contestants will be coming at. This is what I thought, actually, Eddie. Whether I played myself or whether I played somebody else. That's generally how my life is in general. So I feel like I'd be well liked on the circle. It's funny because the circle would play to my strengths. If I was on a show where I was in a big house full of people, like Big Brother or The Challenge or something, that would not play to my strengths, because when there's all these big, loud personalities around me, I would probably be the quiet one that makes it easy for them to be like, oh, well, Mark's not really talking to anybody. Mark is antisocial. Mark doesn't want to participate in all the fun that we're having. So let's get him out, because this is an easy vote to get out, and he's not going to yell at people and make a scene on his way out. So it's going to be real easy to get Mark out. Whereas in my own little apartment, where I can choose basically how and when I talk to people, one-on-one, a 4-person group, a 3-person group. I get to do it all from the comfort of my own apartment. And if I'm having anxiety problems, nobody's right there in front of me. So I can get through that on my own. Out of all the reality shows, The Circle is the only one I'd be interested in doing. Me too. Other contestants will be coming in. Yeah, I read that one. MeMe hasn't done anything on the show. Well, she's given us a lot of quotables, but game-wise, she hasn't done a lot on the show. I agree. I could do Survivor except for the swimming parts because I don't swim. That would automatically make me not good. If you took the swimming out of Survivor, I would definitely do Survivor. And I'd be good at Survivor. But the swimming, that automatically makes me out the equation. And that's similar reasons as to why I wouldn't want to do the challenge. The old challenge, back in the day challenge, I would be excellent at that. Today's challenge, nah. You can't possibly. I don't want to know who was voted out. I do not want to know who was voted out. I still have to see the episode. All right, y'all. The show was so boring that we talked about the circle for half of the episode, for half of the live. That's pretty funny. Well, that wasn't. Oh, yeah, he did swim. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, like I was saying, we talked about the circle for half of this. And the Big Brother stuff has not really been feeding right now. It's Waffle Wednesday. We'll see what happens on Thursday. It really was good. I like the longer episodes of Survivor. And I will be back in the AM, hopefully. Unless nothing happens overnight. If it's a boring night, I will not be back in the AM, but I will definitely, at the very least, be back after the episode airs tomorrow, which is, what is it, 8 o'clock Eastern till 9 o'clock Eastern. And thank y'all for joining in and tuning in and for your support. And we will for sure speak again tomorrow. With that said.
Okay. Well, guess what? If I win, somebody ain't diddy bopping.
Right.
Okay. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
If I win, one of them won't be diddy bopping.
Mm-hmm. I think those guys really have become.
So you literally were one of my very first followers. And then when you followed me and I, followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on everything.
That wasn't planned.
You know what?
Thank
but
you.
I like this Canadian.
Well,
I like this one.
well, thank you.